What's going on, everybody? My name is Pat Carr with Solr Standard. Today we're going to talk a little bit about how solar actually works. And bear with me because I am not the best artist that you've ever seen. So a little bit about how solar works. I'm going to draw a sweet picture of a house here. Currently, the way people get power you have electricity coming from the lines from the utility company. And the idea with solar is we are cutting out this entire world where the energy is produced by company X, Y, and Z and is then delivered to you by other company X, Y, and Z, which is a whole other conversation, the fact that we pay for power twice. All right, so we put solar panels on people's homes. We can also place them on the ground if you would like. Not every company does that. And sun comes down, hits the panels. Panels produce energy. Now, technically, those panels will produce direct current. Our homes run on alternating current. So beneath each panel is what's called an inverter, where that power is inverted from direct current to alternating current. We then send that power into the home. Now, when solar is being produced, you will use that power immediately if the draw is needed. Now, for instance, right now, I'm at work. I'm at the office. My solar panels are producing a whole bunch of energy and nobody's home to use it. So what happens in that case, my meter will just spin backwards, sending that power back to the grid for me to draw back at a later date. That is a program called net metering. Now, so a little bit about how net metering works, okay? Right now, homeowners have a meter on their home. That meter only moves one direction. They draw power, they get that sweet electric bill that they get every month. When homeowners go solar, because the state of Pennsylvania offers net metering, we will have the power company come out, they will put in a new meter, and that meter will move both directions, forward and backward. And how this works is there will be times during the day where the solar is producing more than is being used by the home, and the homeowner has the ability to send that power back to the grid and draw that back at a later date. Now, the way net metering works currently, it's a dollar for dollar exchange. So if I send $50 worth of electricity to the grid, I can draw $50 worth of electricity back. One thing to be concerned about is there's going to be a day where these utility companies end net metering. I promise you that PECO, PPL, West Penn Power, MetEd, whatever utility company in Pennsylvania does not like this, because instead of them exploiting us, as they do now, we are now exploiting them. And it all comes down to politics and money. So one of the first things that we do, we meet with a homeowner today, we walk them through a solar savings plan. Obviously they love it because it puts them in a better situation. One of the first things we do is they sign what's called an interconnect agreement with the utility company. And that interconnect agreement states that they have the ability to send and receive power for the foreseeable future. So what happens when they end net metering? And I promise you this will happen. It could be a year, could be 5 years, I have no idea, but if 5 years from today, they end the net metering program, everybody that got it beforehand and signed an interconnection agreement will be grandfathered in. And everybody moving forward will not be able to get it. And I assure you, our phone will ring whenever this happens, and that phone call will probably go something like this. Hey Pat, my name's Kathy. You put solar on my neighbor Sam's house. He said you were the man. He said Solr Standard was amazing. We want to put it on our house. And my answer is going to be, hey Kathy, I really appreciate the feedback. Unfortunately, in order to help you, we also have to install a battery, so your savings is going to be a little bit different. Then you have to buy a battery. Now today we talk about solar as a no-brainer, right? You can turn a never-ending debt into a financial asset overnight. But the game changes a little bit when you need to buy a $20,000, $30,000 battery to store your own power. So this is kind of a get in while you fit in while you can, because there will be a day where this comes to an end. Here we're going to talk a little bit about how solar works, but from the financial aspects, okay? So when I talk about solar, and the way I think about this conceptually is solar is anyway money. We are all spending this money no matter what. We just want to show people a smarter way to do it. What I mean by that is, this red line is your electric bill. We get an electric bill, we pay it every single month, and the concept is, let's say your average electric bill is $200 a month, you take $200, you go out back to that little fire pit you have, and you light it on fire. Because you never see a return on that money, The utility company never gives you a Customer of the Month award, and they never give you a discount for paying on time. The only thing they'll do is turn you off if you don't pay them, okay? Now, the way this works is the utility company increases their rates every single year. And we don't have solar, we plan on paying this electric bill till we die. So everything below this red line is money that we plan on spending. Now, all the figures that we review with customers are based on normal inflation. Utility companies go up on average about 4% a year. Now keep in mind, in the last 2 years in Pennsylvania, utility rates have increased between 30 and 90%. And I'm pretty confident that this is a theme and they're going to continue doing this. So whenever we go over figures with a customer, we're being very conservative, and it's probably going to be 10 times worse. Now, what is the solution to that, at least financially? Solar from two different perspectives, because there are two different ways you can go solar. The first option is what's called a PPA. PPA stands for Power Purchase Agreement. Now, every homeowner currently has a power purchase agreement with the utility company, and it's the worst agreement in the world because they agree to buy power at a certain rate from the utility company, and they agree to let the power company increase that power however much they want without ever being able to do anything about it. It is the worst agreement in mankind. So the way a solar power purchase agreement works, the customer gets the electricity from the solar at a rate that costs less than the utility company. Immediate win. And that rate only goes up 2.9% a year, okay? So this does a couple things. First off, it gives clear predictability. You know exactly how much you're going to pay for electricity over time. And as the utility company is increasing their rates more than the solar's going up, the homeowner's savings is just increasing over time, okay? So obviously, this line being money and this line being time, the blue line is more attractive than the red line. Because in this case, everything between the red line and the blue line is money that you save as a homeowner with a power purchase agreement for solar. Now the other option is you can purchase a solar system. And when we purchase a solar system, we get a few different incentives, but the idea with purchasing a solar system is you know exactly what you're gonna pay. Sometimes it costs a little bit more, sometimes it costs a little bit less. Every house is different, but we figure it out for each homeowner. But that payment never goes up, and it has an end date. And as you can see, the gap between the red line and the green line is even larger than the blue line. The only issue with purchase is there are certain qualifications in order to get those incentives. For instance, the biggest incentive is a tax credit. If you don't pay enough in federal taxes to get that tax credit, it's probably not beneficial to go that route. Thanks for watching the video. We'd appreciate it if you hit the like button. Feel free to subscribe if you want to learn more about solar with Solr Standard.